Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-Chief of PhocusWire, here at the PhocusWire studio in association with Pros. Delighted Jodi Williams to join us. Thank you. Jodi, you are we'll get this right, the General Manager for Global Brand and Content Marketing at Air New Zealand. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, you're the first marketing person, if we can call it that we've spoken to so far.
Yep.
Interested in, as a major flag-carrying airline,
Yep.
when you sit down and you're having your marketing meetings each year,
Yep.
planning into the next year, just kind of talk us through the kind of thought process that you have when you're trying to think about, this year we're going to do a little bit more in that channel or in this channel. How do you kind of decide what you're going to do?
Yeah,
without giving away the secrets, of course. But
So firstly, it's really important to understand what the business objectives are. So we start with what the strategic kind of objectives are for the airline, what the focus is going to be. From there, we have our own playbook, if you like, for brand and marketing. And so that playbook identifies 4 priorities that we work to that flow down from kind of those business objectives as well.
Yep.
So, for example, the number 1 brand priority is obviously around the health of the brand in our home market. So, need to win at home. We are very linked to the nation, to the country and what we do. Flying customers to, from, within and outside of New Zealand. Tourism is very important to us as an industry. It's the number 1 export. So protecting that health of the brand in the home market, and so that's very important. Then we move into, brand attraction, if you like, and that's looking across our markets and identifying what the job to do is by market. So on one end of the scale, you have quite a mature market like Australia, really well known. People know who we are, they know where we fly, and who the audiences are and what the job to do is quite different. If you get down to then the other end of the scale, where it might be a new market or a recently new market like Argentina, firstly it's actually about convincing them to fly to the country before the airline even comes into the mix. So we look across all our markets and we identify what the brand role is, ultimately all leading to awareness, consideration and conversion. So those are kind of the 2 core.
Yep.
More broadly across the organisation, we definitely have a role to play in terms of brand strategy, in terms of where and how the brand shows up. So that might be in digital or a new product development, and ensuring that we've got a seat at the table and representing the customer and the brand. And as we think about the future, what the future of the brand needs to look like.
Tell me, would it be fair to say that the combination of Air New Zealand and Tourism New Zealand as a destination marketing organisation work really closely and it works really well, perhaps more than any other kind of combination that you see around the world, perhaps because you're so isolated, but because it's a place where people it's a bucket list type place?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got an excellent relationship with Tourism New Zealand. We work closely together in a lot of our markets offshore. We do joint planning, joint marketing, and often on really large projects such as Rugby World Cup in Japan. We're joined at the hip and we're going to be working together on a number of activations up in Tokyo. Different in our home market, because in our home market we're about promoting travel within New Zealand and then outbound. So we look at it in 2 parts.
Okay. How was back to the original questions where you're thinking about your marketing each year, how have those channels changed over the last 5 or 6 years? Reliance on brand advertising on mainstream TV compared to say search or digital. How has that changed, do you think?
Significantly, and I think firstly the makeup of the team has changed, and that was very we actively went about that and had a look at how we were set up, were we fit for purpose, could we move at speed and haste. So you talk about new channels and platforms, the volume of content, it's changed significantly, and I can go back 4 or 5 years and rattle off all the channels that we may appear in or advertise in. Now it's tenfold. Then you think about the content you're producing, and you may have a 30-second or a 15-second Now we can set a campaign out to market with 60 pieces of content.
Yeah.
Depending on the channel, the platform, we're also translating into multiple markets. So that has changed. So therefore the team and the makeup of the team has to work differently. And what we've done is we've created squads where we get people, whether you're more on the strategy side of brand, you're a content creator, your expertise is in go-to-market, we bring external partners in, which creative director, creative technologist, and depending on what the job is, we work as a creative cohort. So how we work is very different, and therefore that enables us to get a lot quicker, react a lot quicker, be more proactive, and yes, you've got your long-term strategies and your big campaigns, but for us it's also about being nimble and taking opportunity of those pop culture and conversations that are happening real time in market.
How has it kind of developed over time? Because you're not the only long-haul airline that flies in and out of New Zealand.
Yes.
I mean, how do you kind of compete with those from a marketing perspective?
Well, firstly, one of the things I often talk about is that you need to, as a brand, you need to be true to who you are.
Yep.
So for us, we know our customers inside out, we know what drives them, we know the values that we live by, they're very linked to what we call Kiwi culture codes, and by staying true to that, we differentiate ourselves, and it's really important. So competitors can't offer what we offer in terms of the Kiwi style service you get on board, how we bring customers to New Zealand. You know, we often talk about the first step on board is your first kind of port of entry into New Zealand. You know, the minute you step on board and you start to experience the country and the people. So through differentiation and being very true to who we are and being very focused, and that really enables us to stand out and generate great loyalty and advocacy.
Okay. I suppose there'd be any competitor airline that would be able to use something as, you know, obvious as The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings in order to generate content.
Yeah.
I think you're fairly famous for doing your kind of viral in-flight safety videos.
Yes.
I guess something that often comes up is when you're creating those, is there really one eye on the marketing of it? Obviously, you're going to say the safety is important, but you could just run a standard safety video.
Yep.
You could generate those with marketing in mind, presumably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a new media channel for us.
Yeah.
So you've got to think also that, yes, of course, the benefit is around safety and ensuring that the messages are, well received and understood. People actually pay more attention if it's entertaining, because you go back 10 years when we first did it, same boring message delivered in the same way, no one was paying attention.
Yeah.
So yes, you know, there's real benefit in that regard, but also we don't have significant budgets when we are in markets like North America, China, South America. It takes a lot for us to kind of stand out, and therefore the safety video becomes a really great media channel and marketing tool for us, and it enables us to stand out and get that cut through. So they do offer marketing benefits, absolutely, and we're up to number 19 and over 200 million views.
So you must be rubbing your hands when Peter Jackson says, "Oh, we're about to film another new film in New Zealand."
Well, we did a couple of Hobbits. Actually, the second Hobbit is still our most successful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, safety video to date in terms of views.
Okay.
And we still have Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies on board. You would be surprised the number of customers that still watch those movies.
Well, it's a long way to end. It's a long way to New Zealand. You might as well watch a 4-hour extended cut of Lord of the Rings, I suppose.
So yeah, we're always looking at, you know, new creative ideas, whether that's a movie partnership or the most recent one was with the All Blacks.
Yep.
So sponsor of the All Blacks. We had some great fun there, and brought back some of the legends and worked with a number of other people as well. So,
Great. Okay. Jodi Williams, thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.